Hello, everyone. I'm Kim, and welcome to Crime Stats Daily. This is a channel where we go beyond the headlines and examine the facts, the statistics, and the stories behind crime in America. If you enjoy fact-based crime analysis, please follow, like, subscribe, and join me each week as we delve into the numbers behind crime in America. Now, today's episode explores one of the most talked about and most understood subjects in criminal justice: missing persons. Every missing person report represents someone's child, parent, spouse, or friend. But what do the numbers really tell us? We're going to separate myth from reality. As you can see here on the screen, the FBI's National Crime Information Center receives an average of more than 532,000 missing person records each year. I was stunned when I saw this number. And at first glance, that number does sound very overwhelming. But there is an important distinction. Most persons are eventually found and removed from that system. On any given day, there are approximately 90,000 active missing person records nationwide. That's pretty stunning. Those are the people and the families still waiting for answers. So let's look at the myths, say, versus the facts. Television and social media often give us a distorted view of missing person investigations. One of the biggest myths is that you must wait 24 hours before reporting someone missing. And this simply is not true. There is no mandatory waiting period in the United States. If someone disappears under suspicious or concerning circumstances, law enforcement encourages families to report it immediately. Another misconception is that every missing person has been abducted. In reality, many reports involve runaways or family disputes, medical conditions, or mental health crises. Every case is unique, and investigators treat each one based on its own set of unique circumstances. So who goes missing exactly? Let's explore that. Missing persons come from every age group and every community and every walk of life. Children may become separated or be involved in custody disputes. Teenagers do account for many reports involving runaways situations. Adults may disappear because of domestic violence or mental health crisis or personal circumstances. Older adults, say living with dementia or Alzheimer's, are especially vulnerable to wandering. There is no single profile of a missing person, which is why every investigation begins by understanding the circumstances surrounding that particular disappearance. So why do people go missing? Let's take a look at that. People go missing for many different reasons, of course. Some do leave voluntarily. Some become disoriented because of dementia or Alzheimer's disease or some other medical condition. Others may be fleeing abuse or experiencing a mental health emergency. Only a relatively small percentage of cases involve stranger abductions, despite what movies and television often portray. Determining why someone is missing is one of the first priorities for investigators because it helps determine how the search will proceed from that particular point in time. Now let's look at the timing. The first 48 hours is particularly important after someone disappears. It's often the most important. Investigators begin interviewing family members, collecting photographs, reviewing any surveillance footage that may be available, checking cell phone records, and organizing search efforts as quickly as possible. That's why one of today's most important facts is this. Again, there is no mandatory waiting period to report someone missing. The sooner investigators receive information, the greater the opportunity to locate someone safely and preserve valuable evidence. So, why do cases go cold when it involves missing person cases? Unfortunately, not every investigation is solved quickly. As weeks, months, and even years pass, witnesses may become harder to locate, memories may fade, and physical evidence can deteriorate or disappear. But a cold case is not a closed case. Investigators continue reviewing evidence, following new leads, and reopening investigations whenever new information becomes available. Now let's look at technology as it relates to missing persons. Technology has transformed missing person investigations tremendously. According to the National Missing and Unidentified Person Systems, more than 11,300 identifications have been made through DNA, fingerprints, and dental records, forensic anthropology, radiographs, and genetic genealogy. These advances continue solving cases that once seemed almost impossible and are providing long awaited answers for families across the country. Now let's look at our crime stats spotlight. One encouraging statistic that often goes unnoticed since its creation is the NamUs, NamUs. It's a program that has helped resolve more than 61,000 missing, unidentified, and unclaimed person cases. Every one of those cases represent a family finally receiving answers. It's a important reminder that persistence, collaboration, and advances in forensics science continue bringing hope to families every year. Now, we all must work together. There's no single agency involved in these missing person cases. The FBI works alongside state and local law enforcement, medical examiners, forensic laboratories, the NamUs system, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and countless community organizations. Each agency contributes different expertise, resources, and technology. Finding missing persons is truly a nationwide effort. So, what are some of our key takeaways from missing person cases? Let's review what we've learned. The FBI receives an average of more than 532,000 missing person records each year. Yet most people are eventually located. At any given time, approximately 90,000 active missing person records do remain open. Now, again, I'm going to emphasize this. There is no waiting period to report someone missing. And thanks to advances in forensic science, nationwide collaboration, thousands of families continue receiving answers every year. Behind every statistic is a person, and behind every person is a family hoping for answers. I do appreciate you joining me today for another episode of Crime Stats Daily. If you found today's episode informative, please like, follow, subscribe, and share it with someone who values facts over myths. I'm Kim. This is Crime Stats Daily, where every statistic tells a story. Stay informed, stay aware, and stay safe. And I'll see you in the next episode.